But the other thing is the workforce development too. That I hear constantly from business owners in Dover in particular, and also from our business. They can't find workers. And some of these are very good jobs. We are looking for an economic development specialist, and we're moving for a nationwide search in the town of Dover. An outstanding position with a lot of, that pays well, outstanding benefits, but nobody around here wants to apply for this job. I am completely mystified by it, to the point where Randy and I both sat down and said, well, which one of us are going to apply for it? So we got our own business.
We got the Friday to get a resume.
So, it's like, why is nobody interested in a really great opportunity? And there are other jobs in our weekly newspaper I can't believe that people don't want these jobs. And
so I'm going to take an opportunity to introduce Jennifer Thompson.
Really, don't take it personally. There are no people.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not that nobody wants your great job in this great town. It's just like the population situation is what it is, and 3 to 4% unemployment. Basically is no unemployment. I mean, there just are not people, and so I was going to I was looking for a not totally awkward and self-serving segue to ask more about USDA housing help, because I really, think that I look at your population numbers and they never really regained pre-Irene levels, and I think, housing is a big piece of what makes it a little hard to crack that workforce nut in the area. So I don't know, but are USDA housing programs used at sort of the rate that they should be in this region, or could we be doing a better job?
We spend all our money, so that's one.
Yeah,
It's one good sign that's there, and there is activity out here. Again, you chicken and egg thing. You have a job that supports your ability to make a mortgage payment that's affordable to you.
Yeah.
That's tough.
We're seeing a lot of younger people. The model of home ownership is not their idea of the American dream. They like to be mobile and not have that type of situation. So there's always more opportunity to do more. It's just lining up the proper customers with the product. A lot of younger first-time home buyers, they either have student loans. They might not have handled their credit in a way that's good. So we partner with the home ownership centers and say it's not if you're going to be, it's when you're going to be ready to access the programs. And we're just one of several entities there. So there's some things behind the scenes that might be limiting some people from purchasing. But we'd love to do more if there's a way to promote that. Again, it all depends. We work with the real estate community, trying to help them to be able to access our program. It's a federal program, so it's not like a commercial bank. You're not going to walk in and have them do the Quicken Loan application and go, oh, guess what? You qualify for this. Boom, and you're done. It's more of a process.
We also, at the Regional Commission, we had a SEVEDs project, and we still haven't gotten the funding and planning for it, is looking at, there's people doing Windham Winter Housing Trust doing affordable housing, and then there's high-end homes, but that little middle area is where we feel that, so if you have young professionals wanting to come in here, there really isn't the housing stock. So we want to look at it, and we just haven't gotten that project off the ground, so we need some planning funds.
Well, there is. It's just not in Dover at the moment. It's in Wardsboro and Reedsboro.
Maybe, perhaps, but we also know there's other towns that have the same issue.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So one thing we've created just recently, and Jennifer's heading it up for us, is a targeted expertise recruitment task force. So we've identified that there's businesses all around that can't get people to work, so maybe they have to bring them here. And bringing them here poses a whole set of new challenges. But that's where we're at, is we need to grow the population to be able to have the workforce needed. We can do a better job retaining, so we've got the workforce programs and fast tracks, all that to retain. But we need to make sure we're also bringing new people here. And we actually see the communities around the county as one of those assets. I don't know if you want to speak at all to that, Jennifer, as far as the pilot program with the new chapter and anything like that.
Yeah, they are hired at all levels. you know, we're trying to tell them not to take it personally either, they're a great company to work for, you know, and so for each level, there are different challenges, I mean, depending on what the wages are, the housing, it's a different question. I think one of the things we're looking for very specific solutions to different kinds of hiring, but we're also trying to look across and say, where do we have these shared challenges? Like where, you know, what Susan described, you know, we hear all the time, is that at all different levels, there is a housing component to that workforce challenge when you're looking at sort of working through sort of, you know, middle and even upper wages. And that's the kind of stuff where we can sort of feed that back into different systems and programs. But we're looking at, I mean, the reality is there are people who want to live here. You know, they find people who want to live here. It's whether we can help make sure that not only they are connecting with the right folks who are attracted to living in this area, but that also the conditions are such that people can actually live successfully in this area long term. So can they find a home that they love in a town, you know, where they want to raise their kids when they eventually have them, or can they solve their housing in such a way that they can still pay off their student loans? And so that's all of that kind of math has to add up for someone to stick long term, and that's the real, when you start talking about high level recruiting, that's what they're really looking at. They're not just looking to fill a job, or they're looking, or for someone to buy a business. If someone moves here and has enough capacity to be secure enough to buy one of those people's businesses, you know, we need to attract those people here. I mean, that's one of the challenges that those folks face. We're just not, there are people lying around who are, you know, ready to be entrepreneurs. So that's, you know, gets back to what RT works on. It's not just identifying the opportunities, but trying to find the people to connect to those business opportunities. Yeah, but we're gonna do it.
Bye.
I think that was good.
I'll ask one.
Oh, all right.
How do you solve your problem of filling more of these chairs? I mean, this was a way for town officials and entrepreneurs, it sounds like, to access a lot of information that it's hard to find in one place. It's hard to find with Google. So yeah, what do you do to get the word out better than?
Well, I'm gonna let Sarah speak, I'll probably start a little, but I think this is a pilot, and we do want to, and I've already planned a couple next steps I'll let Sarah speak to. But yeah, I think we need to show value for that, and I think all of us are so busy doing the stuff, it's communicating the value, and that's a lesson we're really trying to internalize and put some good time and resources into to make sure that people understand that by calling Susan, by calling Chris, by all of us who are here today, there is an actual path forward. You know, hopefully you just heard something that could help with the fiber project. We ourselves, our organization, we get paid to pick up the phone and do something when someone calls us. It's not just a referral service. Many times that is part of what we do, but it's communicating that to other communities, and maybe lasagna. You know, at first we talked about having lasagna. We were so good at lasagna, so we could have offered dinner at 5:30.
I think to Max's point, having efforts like this at a sustained level where people know they can come, you know, as opposed to a one-off. I think projects and initiatives that have a lot of energy are naturally going to find the resources, but it's what can you do to inspire those people that aren't already having an idea. It's the person that wants to be engaged but doesn't know how to do it. And so the frequency of having engagements like this is really important to making people feel welcome to come into the room. And I think not just in Windham County, but across the state, we're seeing that is needed. The regular encouragement to come into the door and say what opportunities are available, because there are, you know, that was over an hour of there's this program, that program, this person to talk to, and we need ways to convey it in a digestible way.
I think, you know, I find a lot of meetings examples, because, you know, first of all, the people that showed up are key. I mean, you showed up, so thank you. You know, we've got the people that's half of life, right, is just showing up. But from when you have that opportunity to get the people out somehow, sharing examples makes lights go off on people's heads saying, I have one of those in my community that I want to do. So that might be one opportunity, is how do you message what's the investments made and that the programs that did it, so that they go, ooh, wait, like housing, you know, nobody, when you think about community economic development, people are always thinking about infrastructure and business, and that's why I bring up the subject of housing, because they relate some way. It's not a direct thing that a town's going to do is do housing, or business isn't gonna do housing. They're gonna be doing recruiting for engineers, but that component's still there. So it's that messaging, if you will, of all the other services that support that. But yeah, the examples I've seen it in many forms. You can almost see the light go off, and they're like, oh. And then after the meeting, what do? They'll wander over to one of us and they'll say, hey, I want to apply to that.
Also, you know, everyone's so busy and coming to meetings, so it looks like you filmed this, so this will be, are you gonna give it to the local community access TV?
We'll post it on our YouTube,
Okay.
and if there are other places,
Yeah.
we'll put it there. Yeah.
That's, it is a BCTV.
Yeah, yeah, it's easy.
And also, you could also ask BCTV to let the other, Great Falls? Fact TV, and is there another one in our region, or so those are the two? They can share, they do that a lot.
Yeah,
So-
yeah,
No, you.
this leads into sort of the closing of this, is that, you know, to Chris's point and Max's point, you know, having somewhat of a regular programming, and I think that's part of what the program that I'm managing, the Southern Vermont Economy Project, is attempting to do. So for instance, first week of May, we may have decided on a date. I think probably May 3rd. We're gonna have staffers from the federal delegation, including Chris, come and speak at 2 events on the same day in different places. We haven't, you know, gotten the details yet, but to talk about what's happening at a federal level and, you know, how those changes affect economic development in southern Vermont. And we are also in conjunction with Bennington County Regional Commission. There is a day-long Southern Vermont Economic Development Summit, which is happening at Stratton. It is May 24th. There's many different speakers and panels. There will be a guy there from the Federal Reserve Bank in Boston, also a gentleman from the Department of Labor. Jen and Jeff are giving their Vermont Futures presentation. RT is monitoring a rural entrepreneurship panel, and then Alex Beck, who's also with BDCC, will be doing a panel on workforce. So again, trying to cover all the topics of economic development, providing the people who provide the resources, and many more programs to come as we plan them. So with that, thank you guys very much. Thank you, panel, for taking the evening with us, and we'll have it filmed, and if you guys have any closing comments, we're good.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming out.